Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And though I do appreciate Representative Fernandez-Barquin's intent in trying to provide alternative options when it comes to our Floridians who are in a situation of an economic crisis and don't have their own savings to dip into in those situations, I am concerned of just the history of predatory lending and how we don't have clear guardrails in this bill. And I want to remind my colleagues that in this country and in this state, we have a history of not just redlining, where different communities were drawn to be racially divided, leading to a lack of investment in certain communities over others. But then when that happened, there was intentional targeting by predatory programs into communities that were disproportionately affected by that redlining, which are communities of color, communities of concentrated disadvantage. With that said, these types of programs, we have to be so careful in any type of increase of interest rates, because again, when you're in a situation of crisis, sometimes something sounds good, but then you realize that with a 36% interest rate, even on a $25,000 loan, that is a lot of increase to pay for. In fact, under current law, loans over $4,000 are at an interest rate of 18%. This again doubles it to 36. So we're allowing lenders to be able to charge so much interest rate to a point where a $25,000 loan with a term of 60 months would be an increase of over $14,000 that borrower would owe. That's a lot, members, and I am concerned that we don't have guardrails in this bill to actually, protect predatory behavior. I know that there are some regulations, but I think there could be more. And I just want to highlight, those in opposition to this bill, it's a pretty diverse coalition. We have, of course, ARP Florida. We have Catalyst Miami. We have the Farm Work Association of Florida. We have the Catholic Bishops. We have Hope Community Center. We have our legal aid partners, from Legal Aid of Orange County Bar Association to Palm Beach County to Jacksonville to Broward County, NAACP, Florida State Conference, of course, the Public Interest Law section of the Florida Bar, Self-Help Credit Union. These are partners who are on the ground helping Floridians who find themselves in a situation that is worse than one that they were trying to get out of. And the fact that we don't have clear data on how many Floridians and what demographics get sued and get chased after when they default on these loans, that's also very concerning to me. We need to be able to see a full spectrum of the effect of these programs before we even consider something as risky of doubling these interest rates. And so I do encourage my colleagues to join me in opposition to this. Let's focus on our consumers. And by the way, if the intent is to really provide more financial support to low and middle income Floridians, there are far better ways to accomplish that, including by simply letting lenders, there are better ways to do that than letting lenders jack up interest rates. We could, for instance, incentivize or compel traditional banks or credit unions to do more low income lending in safer and more thoughtful ways. For that, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the time.